Okay, guys, I'm here today with Burton Richardson, and a huge honor for me. I know him for a very long time. He went to Marcelo's once, and we met there. And he's black belt from
Illinois.
Yeah, and guys,
old school.
Yeah, he's a very old school guy and has coached like many like celebrities like Bart Yoshida and many others. And he's
Ensign Illinois.
Ensign Illinois.
Chris Lieben. Yeah. So.
And his first jiu-jitsu lesson ever was with Rickson Gracie. And then he trained under the Machados. So very, very long story. And guys, he's very, very specialist on self-defense. So today he's gonna show us here like half guard for self-defense, right? I'm gonna play my half guard and he's gonna talk about it, how it would be the situation in a real scenario if it was not like just sport jiu-jitsu. And it's going to be very, very cool. He showed me already and I really enjoyed it. So I'm very excited to learn from him.
So, I just want to make one other thing. I trained with Carlson Gracie and their team for a while too, many years ago. So I got all that input and amazing.
So you're all over the jiu-jitsu history.
I was very fortunate.
When did you start, Bernardo?
I started about 92.
You started doing jiu-jitsu in 92?
Yeah. And so I was the worst jiu-jitsu guy ever. No one was worse than me. I mean, for a long time.
I don't believe that.
No, it's really true. I'm telling you. Yeah. But just persistence. Anybody, you guys out here having trouble with jiu-jitsu, just keep doing it and eventually it'll come. So.
No, Bert, quick question.
Yeah.
So if you started in 92, you might be one of the first Americans black belt. How is it?
No, because I was terrible.
Really?
Yeah, it took me a long time. I didn't get mine until 2006. That's how bad it was. No, but yeah.
Well, but that's a great message here. Like in the beginning, he was bad in jiu-jitsu. That's what he's saying, and then he became the coach of. He coached like all these guys.
Yeah,
so.
I'm telling you, I was horrible. I had no aptitude whatsoever, but it was just persistence, training with good people, studying, and then you end up actually being able to do it. So.
Got it. And now here you are.
So talking about the difference between sport and self-defense. First of all, in jiu-jitsu, there's self-defense aspect, right? You just have the gun defense and knife defense and all these sort of things. The problem is that when we train jiu-jitsu, what do? We practice technique, and then we roll, so we're training with a resisting partner.
Yep.
That's how we find out our flaws,
yep.
Right? Then we do self-defense and no resistance, no training. And that's why there are a lot of techniques that really don't work for self-defense because they're not tested at all, not pressure tested.
Good.
So we prefer to pressure test everything. And when we're in a self-defense situation, the priorities change, like where you put your hands, it has to change because it's a different environment. Just like the difference between MMA, like say we're here, say I go half guard right here, right? Okay, if you're there, if we go jiu-jitsu, right, or submission wrestling, okay, I can just be very comfortable here and maybe come up and all. If we're doing MMA, I have to control your posture now.
I agree 100%.
This is a whole right. Now imagine if it's street self-defense. How would that change? It's like, well, you got to control the posture for striking and all that. But say you come in, you're starting to do your pass, right? You're coming in here, right? This could be a problem for you.
Yep. Oh my God. Just noticed that right now.
Right. That's the thing, because the problem with our sport training is we never expect a weapon. It never comes out. And then people will say, well, I say, hey, if you're in a street thing, would you expect a weapon? Well, yeah, you say, yeah, that makes sense. I expect a weapon. But if you don't train it to expect a weapon,
it's not going to help.
Not going to help. So what we need to do is always expect the weapon, and then have defenses for it. So, for example, say you're on top again. I'll just make it. Or you want to switch there? Say I'm on top. Say I'm half guard, right? Like this. So because the weapon, the hands are going to come out. Maybe it'll come out this way. Thank you. Say it's going to come out, maybe it's not out yet, but you're stowing it here. I'll just put it here for now. So if I do my regular, coming into here, easily. So if you need the pass because you're worried about the weapon, you just prioritize like a double underpass.
And then I cannot use my hands.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so we're always going to control the arms and the hands and be ready for the draw at all times.
Got it.
So that's the first thing, and that changes the priority of the position.
Then a quick question: you would treat in the same way the gun and the knife?
Different, okay? So, for example, let's come back over here. Say you're in my guard this time. Say you're here.
Yep.
And say suddenly you pull that out. See, if it's a pistol, I can grab the pistol itself because it gives me a good lever, right? Now, for practice, we put the finger here just so it doesn't hurt you for the disarm. But with a knife, I can't grab it, so I have to go a different thing. I have to do what we call a 2-on-1. If that was a knife, I come here, and I come out, and I hit to my knees, and I work for the disarm. But watch this. Against a pistol, because I can hold, now I get to use my jiu-jitsu. See, this isn't, it's BJJ for the street, it's jiu-jitsu. So what's my first disarm here? I grab to keep it from shooting at me. Second thing, very important, you would just pull this out, you'd break my grip, right? You just rip that out. Now, big trouble. So I have to control the back. Control.
And then
And then I come here, there's a disarm. Now what? That's just like simple sweep, like knee shield. And it comes out very easily, right? Sometimes though, this is where our jiu-jitsu comes in too, is I might be here and maybe I can't get far enough away. So I work to here, right? And it still comes out, right? Or I come this way. So,
and how do you practice that? Because there's no way to do sparrings with, or you do with this one.
Here, go ahead and put it over there. Okay, just stick it in. Put it in a little deep so it stays. Okay, and maybe we'll have you on this side so they can watch. You come over here. Okay, so say we're just gonna play a little bit, and whenever you want, you take it out. Okay, so we're going here, right? We're working. Oh, see, I'm looking for the draw. See, and all of us,
I can't find it.
I'm always looking for that. But you might get it out. Maybe you go here. Okay, now we're back and working to the good
And then you work that from every single situation.
Every position.
Standing on the ground, on the mounts, on the so that's cool.
All the position.
And I had never seen working on that specifically.
But see, you asked the critical question: how do you spar with that? And that's what usually self-defense, they don't do. It's just technique. And that's why a lot of techniques don't work very well when you actually pressure test them. And I just I got my black belt, and then I thought, I started this with self-defense. I trained with Dan Inosanto and Bruce Lee's protege and all. I started martial arts for self-defense. I thought, I gotta go back to those roots.
And then how did you develop this system? Like you start studying and doing this more and more and more until you come out like with your system.
Yes.
How is it?
So I study all kinds. I did a lot of Filipino martial arts for the knife, but then when I'm rolling, it's not the same. So I had to trial and error, right? And just get to a place where, now this is working. And then I learn an idea from someplace else. I try it, adjust it, change it. And after a while, we have very solid techniques that work quite well.
Oh, Burton, curiosity here, like, are you helping the police with that? I think every police officer and even like the army, they should know this stuff, right?
They should, and we're trying. Actually, my partner Israel Cruz is the tactical unit trainer for the NYPD. He's way up there, and he's a former Army Ranger, Green Beret. I mean, he's amazing. But we're trying to get it out, and I know, a lot of times the police are doing jiu-jitsu, right? Maybe add a little striking. But see, that's valetudo. They're training for valetudo.
They're not training specifically for the gun.
This is the most important thing, right? When you're in someone's guard, the first thing you do is protect against the most dangerous attacks. You don't want to get swept. You don't want to get armbar triangle. You would protect against that first. When there's a weapon involved, we should be in position to protect against this first. And that's what the police should be doing.
So if you had like to summarize here, for example, what you have been doing, it's pretty much like you're mixing, same way there's MMA that they mix wrestling, jiu-jitsu and boxing, you're kind of mixing like jiu-jitsu with maybe like Krav Maga or the Filipinos martial arts said that they learn how to take out the guns and putting them together, which nobody ever done that.
That's right. I'm a instructor in Filipino martial arts for a long time. I'm kind of known. There's this group called the Dog Brothers. I'm one of the original Dog Brothers, full contact stick fighting, a Krav Maga instructor also. I take all these things but we pressure test it and see what actually works and doesn't work. But you said it right. See, if you're a wrestler, and you go into a submission wrestling match, you're gonna get submitted.
Yeah, you gotta mix it for your jiu-jitsu.
Right.
That's
You take a guy just submission wrestling, goes into gi,
Got it.
gonna have problems.
Got it.
Take the gi guy, put him in MMA, problems because
Got
the
it.
rules change. You put the weapons involved, and it changes again. You have to
Got it.
change your ability.
Oh, Burton, just to finish, show me one more example. I'm excited.
Okay, great. Here, throw me a
Maybe
knife.
with someone standing like.
Yeah, how about
Yeah,
this?
with the knife or
With the
whatever.
knife. With the knife, for example, you know, there's a very common technique shown in jiu-jitsu. So if you thrust here, what they do, they go one, right, here, and go into a bent arm lock.
Yep.
Okay? Now tell me, in your competitions, how many times have people gotten arm locks standing like that?
Zero.
Zero.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that happen? Zero.
Yeah.
Right. And so if I can, the worst thing about it, anytime we're doing a technique in jiu-jitsu, we always have an out, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're here, we know if that happens, I'm gonna go over there, there's a safety thing.
Yeah.
So imagine if you do this, you block, and then you put me in a bent arm lock, just like that. That's where it comes out.
Yeah. My neck is off here.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
The
I
way to
agree.
get out is right at the neck.
I agree.
So this is a very, very bad technique. The thing we want to do, like if you thrust, and I want you to give me several of them. Like a 1, 2, a bunch of times. Yeah, exactly. So go ahead. This is, we have to actually be very
So it's almost like
aggressive
a
about
double leg on my arm.
it. It's, that's a
If
good
you
one.
had to-
It's a 2-on-1, right? I block
Lead
this
to
way.
shooting.
Yeah, and I'm shooting in and I'm turning as
All right,
though,
all right, let's go.
like, just like, you know,
Let's
I'm
go.
coming up here. It's the same thing, but because what happens when I go forward after this, the natural thing is a person circles away from you, right? You circle away, and now if I miss,
I got it.
problem. So I have to take that into account and circle right away, and there's that disarm that happens right there.
That's awesome. And if he comes,
Yes,
in
on this
angle-
one, what we do is we dive in, and now you have to have the courage to step in. And people
Okay.
always say, why don't you just run? Well, you know, if my wife and my daughter are there, I
Yeah,
can't run,
You can run.
right? So if you need to, I'm going to put both hands up and just dive right there to keep them off my body. What happens if you actually try to get me there and go through, it tends to go down, and now we can get a hold of that same 2-on-1 position, because the most important thing with a knife is not just controlling the arm, it's making sure I control the knife.
Got it.
See this? Do I have good control of your arm?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do I have good control of the knife?
Not really, right?
No, you can switch hands.
Yes.
That's what's going to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, I agree.
So this is not a good position, actually. That's why we go here, and I turn my back on you, because now when you switch hands, right?
There's no
it's-
way.
Yeah, it's
That makes
difficult.
sense.
Right.
Yeah, that's amazing.
There has to be factored in the hand
That's
switch.
amazing. That's very cool, because I always wonder, for example, I know jiu-jitsu, right? And-
Right.
But if the guy comes with a knife, what are you going to do? Double leg? It's not a good
No,
idea.
not a good
I
idea.
would run, probably.
If you can run, you run.
Yeah.
Always run. Or pick up something and use it as a
But
weapon.
if I have my mom here, how I'm going to run, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
No, I got it. Man, that's amazing. Thanks so much.
What a
for-
pleasure. What a pleasure.
Very cool.
Thank you,
That's
Bernardo.
amazing. Awesome. And
This
guys,
guy's such an awesome teacher, too. Man.
thank you. Guys, you just shot an entire instructional with Burton all about this, all about like how to use jiu-jitsu when our opponent has a weapon. So it came out very, very good, and it's going to be very soon at bjfanatics.com. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, it's going to be already there. Awesome. Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTubeFaria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.